Late at night, a beautiful Hindu young girl came to Imam Sahib's room. What happened next will make your hair stand on end. At one end of the ancient city is a huge mosque, and next to it is Imam Sahib's chamber. In this chamber lives a young imam. His name is Ahmad. Although he is young in age, even the elders of the city respect him for his knowledge and wisdom. One late night, when everyone was asleep, Ahmad was reading a book in the dim light of a hurricane. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. Ahmad got up and slowly walked towards the door and opened it. As soon as the door opened, a young woman burst into the room. Ahmad quickly moved away. The woman fell to the floor and started gasping. The expensive silk cloth she was wearing, the collarbone, and the stitches on her hands testified that she was not from an ordinary household. However, the style of her dress and the remaining traces of vermilion on her forehead told her that she was from the Hindu community. Ahmad quickly lowered his gaze, but the woman quickly got up and hugged Ahmad's legs and said, "Please don't throw me out, they will kill me." Hearing this, Ahmad said, "Who are you? It is impossible for a non-mahram woman to be in my room at this late night. You leave here right now." The woman then said in a tearful voice, "Huzur, I know it is a sin. I know it is not according to your religion, but I am safe. I am the daughter of the chief merchant of the city. My name is Neela. Tonight the governor of the city killed my father. He is looking for me now. If I go out now, they will tear me apart. Please, just for tonight." Ahmad stopped after hearing the girl's words. The ruler of the city, ظالم Khan, was a tyrant. No one in the city was safe from his greedy gaze. After a while, Ahmad said, "But it is not safe for you to stay here. If anyone sees it, both you and I will be sentenced to death. Society will not accept it." Then Neela trembled and said, "Death awaits outside. If you stay here, you will be slandered. But if you go outside, both your honor and life will be lost. I have heard that Muslims protect their trust. Today, I am your trust. Will you hand me over to the hyenas?" Hearing this, young Ahmad's forehead furrowed in thought. On one hand, strict religious rules and social norms. On the other hand, the honor and life of a woman in danger were protected. Islam gives utmost importance to serving the helpless, but the context is very complex. So Ahmed made a quick decision. Whatever happens, he will cooperate. He closed the door tightly and lifted the thick wooden latch. Then he told Neela, "Listen, I am giving you shelter, but there is a condition. You have to leave here before the Fajr call to prayer. And as long as I am in this room, you will stay behind the curtain in that corner. Don't even come forward." Hearing this, Neela nodded her head in gratitude. Then she quickly went and hid herself behind the old curtain kept in the corner of the room. Then Ahmed sat down in front of his book again. But his attention was no longer on the book. His ears were on the sounds outside. About 10 minutes passed like this. Then the sound of horse hooves was heard. Many horses. This made Ahmed's chest tremble. ظالم Khan's soldiers had arrived. They were saying from outside, "Imam Sahib, open the door." Ahmed tried to remain calm and got up and went to the door, but it did not open. From inside, he said, "Who wants to be in the house of Allah so late at night?" Then a commander from outside shouted, "We are the governor's men. We have received news that an infidel girl has escaped and come this way. Someone saw her enter the mosque. Open the door, we will search." Hearing this, Ahmed said in a loud voice, "This is a mosque, the house of God. There are no criminals or fugitives here. I am praying, do not disturb me." Hearing this, the commander laughed loudly and said, "The prayer will be later. We have the news. If you do not open the door, we will break in. And if the girl is found in your room, we will satisfy the taste of the imamate." Ahmed then looked towards the corner where Neela was hiding. The girl must have cowered in fear. Then Ahmed thought that if they went inside, not only would the girl be caught, but the whole city would riot over the crime of finding an infidel girl in the house of an imam. The honor of Muslims would be ruined, and giving the girl into their hands would mean pushing her to the point of rape. So Ahmed looked at the chest. It was quite large. Books were kept inside. Ahmed whispered and said, "They will break down the door. You will have to go inside this chest. It will be difficult to breathe, but there is no other way. I am trying to send them away."
Hearing this, Neela quickly entered the chest without asking any questions and sat down. Then Ahmed closed the chest but did not lock it completely so that a little air could enter. Then he took off his robe and spread it over the chest, and spread his prayer mat and stood in front of the chest for prayer. Just then, with a loud noise, 3 armed soldiers broke the door lock and entered the room. They had drawn swords in their hands. The commander came forward. Ahmed was praying. He did not move. He remained in prostration. The commander searched the entire room, but no one was there. Then the commander's eyes fell on the large chest in front of Ahmad, who was prostrate, on which Ahmad's robe was placed. The commander went forward there. He removed the robe placed on the chest with the tip of his sword, but Ahmad's prostration did not end. At that moment, another soldier came running from outside and said, "Senapati Sahab, we have received news that the girl has been seen running towards the riverbank. We are wasting time here." Then the commander looked at Ahmad once, then at the chest. His doubts had not yet left his mind. Then he said, "Ahmad Sahab, will the prayer not end, or will some hidden truth come out only after the prayer ends?" Then Ahmad calmly said, "Allahu Akbar," and sat up straight. He looked into the eyes of the commander and said in a calm voice, "You have entered the house of Allah with weapons. Is this the order of the ruler, or have you acquired some power greater than Allah?" The commander then scolded and said, "Don't argue. What is there in Sindhu?" Then Ahmad, without being at all upset, said, "The book is the word of Allah. You can open it if you want, but remember that if you don't find what you are looking for there, you will have to answer for insulting the house of Allah on the day of judgment." There was such seriousness in Ahmad's voice that the commander stopped for a moment. He thought that an imam would not lie. Then the commander said to his companions, "Let's go to the pier. There is no point in wasting time here." Then the soldiers left. They hurriedly closed the broken door while leaving. Then they got up quickly and somehow blocked the door. Then they ran and opened the chest. But Neela had lost consciousness by now. Her face had turned blue due to lack of oxygen. Then Ahmad quickly took her out of the chest and laid her on the floor. He took water in his hand and sprinkled it on her face. As a result, Neela's eyes opened after a while. She sighed.
Ahmed breathed a sigh of relief and said, "They have left, but they won't be away for long. When they go to the Ghat and see you are not there, they will come back here, or they will search the whole city." Neela slowly sat up. She said in a grateful voice, "You have saved my life, but where will I go now? My house has been burned down. No one will open the door for fear of going to my relatives." Ahmed thought for a moment and said, "There is an old cemetery near the western gate of the city. There is an old servant there. He is known to me and is very trustworthy. For now, there is no other way but to leave you there. But the problem is, to get to the western gate, you have to cross the main market, and now there is a strict watch of guards there." Neela said firmly, "I am ready. I will do whatever you say." Ahmed said, "You cannot go in this dress. They will recognize you as soon as they see you." He opened the cupboard and took out a black burqa. It was a memento of his mother, which he had kept with great care. He extended the burqa and said, "Put this on. Cover yourself from head to toe. Don't say another word. If anyone asks me anything, I will answer. You will come with me dressed as my wife." Neela said in surprise, "Do I have to introduce myself as your wife?" Ahmed said calmly, "Yes, there is no other way. If the guards stop me, I will say that my wife is sick. I am taking her to the judge. When an imam goes out with his sick wife, no one usually suspects." Neela took the burqa in her hand. Different religion, different culture. Yet today she has to take this disguise to save her life. Wearing the burqa, she seems to have become a completely different person. Ahmed took the hurricane in his hand and said, "Let's go. We have to return before dawn." They went out on the road late at night, Imam Ahmed in front, Neela in a burqa behind. Silence all around, the road deserted. After walking a little distance, a group of guards with torches appeared at the intersection of the market. They were stopping every pedestrian. Ahmed whispered, "Don't be afraid. Just stay by my side. Don't hold my hand, keep your distance, but don't go too far either." As soon as they reached the guards, one of them blocked the way. "Wait, where are you going at this time of night?" Ahmed held the hurricane high so that the light fell on his face. "I am Imam Ahmed of the mosque." The guard recognized him and said, "Oh, Huzur, excuse me, but where are you at this time of night?" Ahmed said in a calm voice, "My wife has suddenly become very ill. Severe stomach pain. I am taking her to the Hakim grandpa of Peshchimpara. It was impossible to delay." The guard looked at the veiled woman and said, "But Huzur, tonight is very strict. The governor's order is to arrest anyone suspicious. A fugitive is being sought." Ahmed said, "Am I a fugitive or is it my sick wife? Let us go. If we delay, there may be danger." The guard hesitated. Then another came forward and said, "Let Huzur go. He will not lie. Besides, that girl is a Hindu and she is Huzur's wife. Go, get out of the way." The guard stood aside. Ahmed moved forward and Neela followed him. Their chests were still beating rapidly. After a while, they reached another gate. There stood a huge Abyssinian executioner. His name was Kalu. It was said that he could tell who was his own by smelling people and who was not. Kalu saw them from a distance. He slammed his axe on the ground and roared, "Stop." Ahmed stopped.
This man could not be fooled by words. Kalu slowly approached and stood in front of Neela. He approached and took a deep breath. Then he said in a hoarse voice, "This woman smells of silk. The poor Imam's wife does not wear silk, and the Huzur's wife does not even have gold sandals on her feet. I have heard her say that from afar." Hearing this, Ahmed's chest trembled. There was no chance to remove the sandals and silk from Neela's feet under the burqa. Kalu raised his axe and roared, "Open the burqa. I want to see who is inside." Hearing Kalu's roar, Ahmed went and stood in front of him. He had no weapon in his hand, only the firmness of faith. He said in a calm but stern voice, "I must be killed before I touch a woman's clothes." Kalu laughed. "So be it." He swung the axe and tried to strike. At that moment, an arrow pierced the darkness and pierced his hand. The axe fell to the ground. A familiar voice came from the darkness. "Run, my lord."
After moving the stone, another dark path appeared on the other side, but a light breeze was coming from there. It was clear that the path had gone outside. Ahmed said, "Let's go this way." The three of them started walking along that new path. The path gradually climbed upwards. After walking for a long time, they came out through the cover of a bush. The surroundings were completely unfamiliar. The lights of the city could be seen in the distance, but in the opposite direction. They realized that they had come outside the city walls. Neela was surprised and said, "Where is this?" Ahmed looked around and said, "This is the Devil's Mound. The river is very close from here. We have to cross the river." But as they moved towards the riverbank, a shadowy figure blocked their path. He came out from behind the bushes. He had a bow in his hand, his face covered with a black cloth. He said, "I knew you would come out this way." The voice sounded like a woman's. Ahmed stood alert. "Who are you? You shot the arrow at the gate?" The shadow slowly removed its mask. A radiant young woman appeared. Her eyes were sharp. She said, "My name is Sarah. I work in Salam Khan's palace, but I am a spy for the rebels. It is my duty to save Neela Devi." Neela was surprised and said, "You know me?" Sarah nodded and said, "Your father used to help us a lot. I left after hearing the news of his death. Imam Sahib, you have taken a lot of risks. Now the responsibility is mine." Ahmed said, "You cannot do it alone. Salam Khan's wolf pack will get the scent. It will not be easy to cross the river either." Sarah said, "The boat is ready, but the problem lies elsewhere. Salam Khan has killed all the boatmen in the city so that no one can escape. We have to sail our own boats. Besides, there is a royal patrol on the river tonight." Ahmed asked, "So what is the solution?" Sarah took out a map from her pocket. "There is an old banya mill north of the city. There is a secret drainage path down the river through it. We cannot reach the fort directly through that, but we can go up into the jungle. However, the path is very dangerous. It is full of snakes and crocodiles." Neela said in a tired voice, "I can't do it anymore. My legs are not moving." Ahmed said firmly, "There is no time to stop. Let's go." Towards Banya Mill. The three of them set off towards the north through the darkness, but they didn't know that Kalu was following them. Even though an arrow hit him in the hand at the gate, he did not give up. With bloody hands he followed them, sniffing the scent like a dog. He was accompanied by 10 other fierce warriors. By the time they reached the call to prayer, it was dawn. The sound of the call to prayer was coming from the distant fields. Ahmed's chest heaved. Today he could not lead the Fajr prayer in the mosque. Maybe he would never be able to. The old call to prayer was made of huge stones. Black, dirty water flowed from below into the river. Sarah said, "We have to go through this dirty water." Neela wrinkled her nose in disgust, but said nothing. They began to descend. The water was waist deep, and the stench was intense. Suddenly, there was a loud noise behind her. Kalu appeared with his army. He shouted, "Oh, children of Satan, did you think you could escape?" The soldiers began to surround them. The river in front, the Kalu behind. Both sides were closed. Ahmed then said to Sarah, "You guys get inside the drain. I'm stopping them." Sarah was shocked. "Impossible, you'll die." Ahmed smiled softly and said, "The Imam's job is not only to lead prayers, but also to stand in front of the oppressor. You guys go." Dear viewers, today's episode ends here. If you want to watch the next episode, like the video and let us know in the comments. Stay well. Without a moment's delay, Ahmad and Neela ran towards the narrow tunnel next to the gate. After passing through the tunnel and exiting the city, they started running towards the cemetery. They kept stumbling in the darkness. Neela's breathing became rapid. Under the burqa, heavy silk cloth was wrapped around her body. It was becoming difficult for her to run, but there was no chance of stopping. The light of torches and the shouts of soldiers could be heard behind her. Finally, they reached the boundary wall of the cemetery and stopped. The place was far from the settlement, surrounded by an ancient forest of sago trees. They entered through a broken part of the wall. The atmosphere of the cemetery was eerie. Hundreds of years-old graves, broken in places, covered in weeds in places. A small hut in the middle. That's where the old servant was supposed to live. Ahmad slowly went to the door of the hut and said, "Uncle, I'm Ahmad. Open the door, it's very urgent." After a while, the door opened and an old man came out. He said, "Ahmad, what are the living doing in the land of the dead so late at night?" He frowned when he saw Neela wearing a burqa behind Ahmad. "Who is with you? Has death come in pairs today?" Ahmad quickly entered the room and gestured to Neela. Then he took the old man's hand and said, "Uncle, there is no time for jokes. ظالم Khan's men are looking for us. We have to hide this girl here. There is no one to trust except you." The old man looked at Neela for a while. Then he said, "ظالم Khan's men? They kill the living. They are not afraid of the dead. They will come here too." Ahmad said, "At least for tonight. I will make other arrangements when the morning comes." The old man nodded and said, "Okay, but it's not safe to be on the ground. There is an old tunnel under the cemetery. Long ago, looters used it. Now no one knows it. You go there." The old man removed an old sheet from the floor of the house. There was a wooden floor underneath. As soon as he lifted it, a dark staircase was visible. A damp smell came from below. The old man said, "Quickly, I will close it from above." Ahmad picked up the hurricane. Neela grabbed Ahmad's hand in fear. He didn't say anything. He slowly started going down the stairs. The tunnel was far below. In the light of the hurricane, it was visible that there were rows of skeletons lying on both sides. Maybe these were the looters who had lost their way and died here. Neela controlled herself even as she screamed. Ahmad said, "Don't be afraid. The dead don't do any harm. The living are the ones who cause fear." At the end of the tunnel, they reached a wide area. There was a place like a stone altar. Ahmad placed the hurricane there. Neela removed her veil. Her fair face had turned pale. She said in a trembling voice, "What will happen to my father? I escaped, but his body is..." Ahmad said calmly, "There's no point in thinking about all this now. First you have to survive. Do you have any jewelry or anything valuable? You'll need money to escape." Neela showed her necklace and bracelets. "These are very expensive, but if you try to sell them, you'll get caught." Ahmad with a worried face, "You're right. These are more of a danger than a treasure now. They have to be hidden." Suddenly, a thumping sound was heard from above. It seemed like someone was walking loudly on the floor of the hut. Then the old servant cried out, "Tell me, old man, where did they go? We saw them coming this way." Neela looked at Ahmad in terror. Ahmad put a finger to his lips and told him to be quiet. They held their breath and waited. After a while, a heavy voice was heard from above. "I searched all the rooms. They are nowhere to be found. It seems they have fled into the forest. Tie up the old man. I will interrogate him on the way back." The sound of the soldiers' footsteps gradually faded away. Still, Ahmad could not calm down. He knew that ظالم Khan's wolf army would not give up so easily. After about an hour, the surroundings became silent. Then Ahmad said, "We have to get out of here, but not from the direction we came from. There must be another entrance to this tunnel." He began to examine the walls with his hurricane hand. At one point at the end of the tunnel, the wall seemed to be made of loose stone. As Ahmad pushed, a stone moved. Then he and Neela began to move the stones together.